Hi there, thanks for joining us. This is Sarah with Ruffles and Rain Boots, and we're making a Viking gnome. I am so happy with how this Nordic fellow turned out. Now, you can use any body style you like. I used a sock gnome and made him very stocky and sturdy. Get the link down below to learn how to make a sock gnome body. But we're going to start by braiding the faux fur and putting our gnome nose on. Then what I did is I measured a piece of felt that would go all the way around my gnome, and I made it about 3.5 inches tall. Because I'm going to take about 1/2 inch off for the top, you can see there, and then I'm going to measure in 1.5 inches from the sides after I squish down that cylinder of felt, and then 1 inch down. And what that's going to do is I'm going to sew along those lines so that I have a sort of a rectangle that looks sort of like the legs cut out for men's underpants, you know. This is how we explain ourselves in tutorials. But anyway, we're going to cut that off. That's it won't come undone, don't worry about it. And then we're going to flip it inside out, right side out, and then that's our gnome hat. Now you'll see these two little kind of pokey out bits on the side there. I wanted those, and I didn't use a circle specifically for this reason. I wanted a little more weight where those edges are. You can see me flipping them in because that's where I'm going to put my clay horns. But before we do that, we're going to finish cutting out our pieces here. This is a piece of faux suede, and it's going to go along the base of the helmet, and we're also going to need a vertical one that will go from the center of that one to the back. But before we get into all that, we're going to start making our clay horns so they can cook and then set. So I just used one hunk of Sculpey clay, rolled it into a log, cut it in half, and then sort of rolled one edge against my hand to make the horn, and then just sort of I curved it up a little bit. And then before you put away your clay, you just want to roll one really small log, and you're going to cut it equally. I cut it in half and then 2 more so that I could have 4 nails or nail heads. And so all I did is roll it into small balls and then squish them between my fingers, bake it all. So while that's baking, we're going to finish up our hat. I make a lot of gnomes, and I really like the look of when the hat is sitting directly on top of the little gnome nose. So that's where I start. I just gently, tack down a little piece of hot glue and then squish the hat down. Now, because we haven't finished our hat and because we haven't stuffed it yet, you're just going to tack down the other 3 points of the gnome, so either side and the back, and then we're going to start building our hat. So we're going to put on our suede, what is this, accent down towards the bottom, because that's where, and we're going to put our horns directly onto that. So number 1, it covers up our tacking of those inside edges, and number 2, it's just a nice place to put some horns. Okay, I'm sorry, but it's so cute. I have to play with it. Like throughout this entire tutorial, I was giggling. All right, so now that we have that piece set, all we're going to do is take a little bit of polyfill, and we're going to stuff it up to really fill out our hat. And that's it's going to depend on what, how you like it. But then after you've done that, you're going to tack down the whole hat all the way around. And so here you can see I've baked, also had the little nail heads going. And so I put 3 across the front, and then I put the last strip of suede from the center to the back and added 1 more. Isn't he cute? He's my little Nordic Viking gnome. Hey, thanks for joining us. Please like and subscribe to Ruffles and Rain Boots for more gnome making fun.